how do we depict a step-by-step loss of faith? Loss of everything that you have until now known to be true.
FX's Under the Banner of Heaven is about the lead character of Jeb Pyrie when he discovers a murdered woman and her child. And it's about his exploration of his relationship with his faith and also trying to find out who did the crime.
Please help me find the rest of my family.
On the surface, it is a crime story set in Utah in the 80s. And it centers around this heinous murder that occurred within a very, very high-ranking family in Utah during this time. What our story follows is the attempt to unravel and ultimately stop these lunatic evil doers from killing any more people.
Jeb Pyrie's conflict comes from the fact that the murder that he's investigating has to do with the original text of Joseph Smith and Brigham Young, and so his faith begins to be questioned.
The idea was that the show could feel like an investigation, a show that takes place almost entirely in Pyrie's mind. We see what he sees as he's investigating the double murder of Brenda Wright Lafferty and her 15-month-old daughter.
We are Laffertys. We can do anything.
The Lafferty family is a big old kind of famous Utah family. But I think as the series develops, we start to sort of unpick the different dynamics in that there is quite a toxic sort of patriarchal system.
Dan, you say the prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, I'd like to...
And the brothers are all sort of fighting to be the favorite.
Brenda Lafferty is a young woman who marries into the Lafferty family, and she sort of has bigger ideas than just being a servant to her priesthood holder. She wants a job on television, and she wants more freedom than the Laffertys are used to giving to their wives.
She really does represent that female who pushes back on this idea that men should be the ones who control everything.
She's sort of able to expose that sort of more archaic way of thinking by sort of trying to open up the other women's eyes and have them sort of see that what's required of them, you know, is not necessarily a good thing.
They all wanted to find fault in her, or for her to save them.
Under the Banner of Heaven tells multiple stories that are woven together. I had to tell the Lafferty story and the Brenda Wright story, the story of the crime. Then I also had to tell the history of the Mormon Church in the 19th century. Then I needed someone asking tough questions, digging into history, which would eventually lead to questioning his own faith. How did the past, the 19th century, lead to these crimes in the 80s?
Hands up! Hands in the air!
The series is an exploration of the complexities of unyielding faith, whether that's to religion or family or love.
When you become so ultra convinced that your convictions are the only convictions is when you need to look yourself in the mirror and go, is it really right?
You don't know a thing, sir.
I really do think the show will keep you on the edge of your seat from beginning to end. There's so many twists and turns, and it takes you on a real journey.
Yes, it has all these weighty themes, but ultimately, it's a crime thriller. And it's stranger than fiction in that way. And I find that really exciting.